Voices of Youth, where we celebrate the people and places that make our area wonderful. And today I have I'm so excited about it, the ability to interview Scotty McGrew, who is the Executive Director of the Sun Valley Ski Education Foundation. So thanks for joining us.
Pleasure.
Great.
Pleasure to be here.
So we were talking earlier about I was looking to see how long the Sun Valley Ski Education Foundation has been around, and it was like we said 66 years. Is that
Correct.
What you're saying?
Yeah.
And I was thinking about like all my siblings and all of us who have gone through it, and watching it grow and just progress, and it's just so fun to see. So let's jump in. One of the things I wanted to talk about is when kids go into this the Education Foundation, they're pretty committed and they don't really know exactly what they're doing, but you guys try to guide them, right?
Yeah.
Into what they're doing, and it becomes a huge part of their life. I mean, it becomes your weekends, you're traveling a lot. So kind of explain how you get them equipped for that and how you get their heads wrapped around what it's all about.
Yeah, I refer to it as the athlete journey, and we start at 7 and 8 years old with our competitive programs. Of course, at that point, it has a lot to do with just introduction to sport, introduction to the mountain if you're in the gravity programs, or introduction to the trails if you're on the cross country team, or what have you. And a lot of it is about fundamental education and awareness for both the athlete and the families, because as a Ski Education Foundation, our mission is to really just maintain a really strong heartbeat for winter sport in our community. And if you've spent time here, as you have, of course, as being a part of the program as a child and all your siblings and such, like we're a super critical part of the DNA of this community.
Huge.
1 in 5 school-age kids are involved in our programming in one capacity or another. So it's major. And we have thousands and thousands of alumni who have been, either graduated from the program or have been involved in the program and are lifelong students of the sport. So as the athlete journey progresses, we start off with introduction and really just laying the foundation for understanding for future success. And some athletes really take to it and will be involved with this program for the next 10, 12 years of their life or more, possibly.
So it doesn't have to be like, if you're going to be in this program, you have to be wanting to go to the Olympics. I mean, it's all about their inner growth and their joy for the sport as well.
Yeah, I mean, there's so few athletes in any given sport that make it to the pinnacle of the sport. But I think to address your question, it really it has to do with aspiration and potential. We provide the programming and the framework for every athlete in our program to achieve his or her potential. And it takes magnificent effort on the part of the community. It takes a magnificent effort on the part of the athlete and of the family. There's so many stakeholders in that process and in that journey. And we believe that regardless of what your pinnacle athletic experience is, your overall sort of takeaway is a great thing. As it relates to being a part of a community, being trained by some of the world's best coaches, and being supported by a community that really gets it and really gets behind this and is enthusiastic about it. It's about weaving a really tight net around each and every one of our kids, so that we support them through their childhood and through their transitions in life. And some of these kids are going to end up, like her, or like her, or like him, Chase Josie, on on the top step of the Olympics, or national champions or regional champions. But we really focus on the input, and the output. The outcomes take care of themselves. We focus on what you can control, and we really pride ourselves and have a reputation for being a top shelf club in that regard. Our community here in the Woodland Valley is unique, and we know that. We live here. I've had the opportunity to travel all over the world for the last 15, 16 years as a coach, sort of, surveying mountain towns from southern hemisphere to Europe to northern hemisphere, east coast, west coast, and just really paying attention. And what we have here is special. it's intimate and small, yet worldly and affluent, and the opportunities really abound. And so what's happening is, families are recognizing that and acknowledging that, and really are looking for a different way to raise their children.
Right. I mean, I think that I know in my business in real estate, it's really, you have so many families that want to come here because they're tired of the rat race in the cities. They're tired of the traffic, and they really want their kids to grow up in a community that supports them in anything that they do, and it's safe, right? And they know that they can go out and be on the mountain, but they can be outdoors doing so many activities and being healthy.
Yeah,
and you have the culture at the same time.
Yeah. There's a bit of nostalgia maybe behind this relocation economics, but it's daily that I am answering the phone or corresponding with a family who's enamored with our community and really wants this experience for their kids, and it is very appealing.
Yeah,
I think, especially for families of children and who identify with the mountain lifestyle.
The outdoor activity.
There's just not very many communities like this one.
Right. And then one thing I want to say, so there were 6 kids in my family. My parents put us all through the Sun Valley Ski Education Foundation. It's not inexpensive. It takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of effort for everybody, and it takes a lot of money. And so as a community, for our community, what are you guys doing in terms of like scholarships and so forth to help these kids be able to do the best that they can and participate?
Yeah, we have a very robust, if not the most robust, financial aid program in the sort of ski and snowboard club industry. Is another pool of it. I've been working with another notable alumni, Kristen Cooper, who probably know Kristen.
Yep.
She was an alumni of the program, silver medalist in the Olympics, etc., to develop a new scholarship for athletes at Rotorua. It's called Cooper Taché First Tracks Fund. So that kids, first generation skiers or kids who don't have really any context are able to be provided with equipment, with instruction, and with access down at Rotorua Ski Area, essentially for free.
So tell me, I love to give back to the community, and so what is one of your biggest give backs to the community from the Sun Valley Ski Education Foundation?
Yeah, it's the kids. We're making great athletes, obviously, but we're making great neighbors, we're making great citizens, and we're making great people who are then going to come back and continue this legacy of community, of excellence.
So that's generational give back.
That is generational give back.
How cool is that?
That's the coolest.
I love that. Okay, so Scotty McGrew with Sun Valley Ski Education Foundation, thank you so much.
Thanks, Stephanie.
And this is Stephanie Reed with Stephanie Reed Real Estate and the Voices of Youth. Thanks for following us today, and we'll see you next time.